So, how did I come up with the idea to go to Japan in the first place? One evening at home, I made myself a cup of tea and thought I might just entertain myself by going through some old photographs. I rarely do that, it's like you really have to be in the right mood for it. But somewhere along the way, I came across a few pictures taken in Japan. That was 11 years ago during my flight attendant era, and as you can probably guess, on those few short visits, I barely scratched the surface. To be honest, I can't even say I truly grasped what Japan was like. But I do remember a thought I had while being there. One day I have to come back and explore this country properly. And in that moment, going through those photos, I realized this was it. The time had come to return. It was some of those aha moments when you just know. And just like that, I spent an entire month traveling through Japan by myself. I ate by myself, navigated my way around by myself, talked to strangers, tried flavors I'd never tasted before, stepped out of my comfort zone almost every day, either by doing things differently or experiencing something completely new. This time, I gave myself the luxury of time. I wanted to let Japan unfold at its own pace and meet it with presence. More time to wonder, to listen, to feel. I returned with open eyes and an open heart, ready to be surprised by the land of the rising sun. Before I arrived, I had a vision of what I wanted this trip to be. Images in my mind, like scenes from a film, of how I imagined myself in Japan. But little did I know, the beauty I would actually encounter would far exceed anything I had pictured. Japan gave me a renewed sense of curiosity. It reminded me how much beauty there is in simply paying attention. It was grounding, eye-opening, and at times magical. There is also something beautiful about returning to a place you've been before, but now you've changed. The place has changed, everything has. In moments like this, you get a real sense of how far you've come in your personal journey, how much you've grown, evolved, transformed. The realizations that come to you are so profound, they are beyond words. This adventure was a journey of discovery, a deeper understanding of myself and the world around me, as I embraced the moments that came my way. And now, back to my first day in Japan. I started my journey in Tokyo. I arrived in the late evening and all I could manage was a quick convenience store run to grab some water and a few fruits to snack on for when I woke up. That first morning I was extremely jet-lagged and I knew I would be, so I kept the day plans free, just letting myself go with the flow and having the freedom to explore whatever felt right in the moment. There are two seasons I dreamt of experiencing in Japan. One is autumn, with its vibrant foliage in deep shades of red, orange and yellow. The other, of course, is Sakura season. Initially, my plan was to arrive in mid-March and catch the cherry blossoms in full bloom throughout March and April. but I had to postpone my trip by a month, and so I ended up arriving in mid-April. When I checked the cherry blossom forecast, I already knew there was a good chance I wouldn't see a single blooming tree. I knew I was late, but I decided to go anyway. It's like sometimes, even when things don't go according to plan, you just trust the timing and follow whatever is guiding you. That day I was being a little stubborn and I decided to try my luck and go looking for sakura trees. And to my surprise, I didn't find just one. I found many. I didn't know this before, but Japan has many varieties of sakura. Some bloom earlier than others, and while most of the white blossom trees were already past their peak, the lush pink ones were still in bloom. For someone who spent a third of their life living in Dubai, it was incredible. I know what you're thinking. Come on, Irina, it's just a cherry blossom tree. But hear me out. In my childhood and teenage years, I didn't really notice the beauty of this tree, or any tree to be honest. It's human nature to take for granted the things we see all the time. And in the country I'm from, cherry trees are everywhere. So yeah, this was one of those times when I was reminded of how much our perspective changes as we grow. As I mentioned, I didn't have any fixed plans for the day. And in situations like this, when I'm unsure of where to go next, I like to pause for a while, have something to drink, go through the map and explore my options. I've been off caffeine for the most part of the past year and only treated myself to a cup of coffee while traveling. So this was a little guilty pleasure of mine, enjoying something I don't usually have. Since I was already close to Shibuya, I thought, why not just walk there? After all, there was one iconic place I absolutely had to see for myself, the Shibuya Scramble crossing. One of the busiest pedestrian intersections in the world, located right outside Shibuya station. What I found interesting about Shibuya is how it blends the modern and traditional. On one hand, you have the bright, neon-lit streets and packed shopping zones, but just steps away, you will find narrow, quiet alleys that feel like hidden worlds. While heading toward the crossing, I kept getting sidetracked by these peaceful back streets. In one of them, I stumbled upon a tiny, serene shrine that sits quietly amid the chaos of modern Tokyo, offering a moment of calm in the middle of everything. Alright, so Shibuya Scramble Crossing. It is an intersection where all traffic stops at once from every direction, allowing hundreds, sometimes thousands of people to cross simultaneously, diagonally, vertically, and horizontally. At peak times, like evenings or weekends, up to 3,000 people cross at a time. There is a building called Magnet right at the corner, and if you go to the top floor, there is an observation deck. You pay a small fee which includes a drink of your choice, and this way you get a chance to witness this photogenic chaos from the top, which looks very cool, I have to say. The sheer number of people crossing at once creates a stunning visual, especially when viewed from above. Honestly, it was kind of meditative, like staring into a fireplace or watching waves. I could have stood there for hours just watching people move, so synchronized yet spontaneous. After the crossing, I really needed some peace and quiet, and so I made my way to Yoyogi Park. I chose to walk whenever I could on the strip. I just miss walking, like really walking with no destination in mind, when you just go wherever your intuition takes you. I find so much joy in it. Somehow I always end up somewhere beautiful, or I meet someone interesting. It's like the universe rewards you for being present.
Right, go. 22 to 22. Today 22. My best is 32. Today easy day.
Of course I couldn't miss Meiji Jingu Shrine, which is just nearby. It's one of the most important Shinto shrines in Japan. What's truly magical about it is its location. Nestled in a dense forest that feels like a hidden sanctuary, even though it's in the center of Tokyo. When you walk through the torii gates, you really feel transported into a different world. Even the air here felt cooler and fresher. I drew an omikuji, a fortune slip, at Meiji Jingu, and it was so spot on for me. Here you can really experience a deeper connection with Japan's ancient traditions. I ended my day at Gonpachi Shibuya. It is a Japanese restaurant, but they also have a plant-based menu, so I decided to check it out. I had an assortment of vegan sushi and vegan roll. Both were delicious, and I really enjoyed the experience overall. The next day began at TeamLab Planets. I booked the earliest available slot, which is at 9 a.m., but in fact they start letting people in even earlier, like around 8:30. And I highly suggest to come at this time because later it gets really crowded. Stepping into this space was like entering another world, one where boundaries between art, nature, and technology blur into something truly mesmerizing. Every step led to a new, stunningly beautiful installation that invited you to become part of the artwork. This place makes you lose track of time. I liked how no matter the age, it makes you feel like a child again, amazed by the beauty and the playful way the exhibit engages all of your senses. And there is a restaurant on site called Vegan Ramen Uzu Tokyo, and even if you're not vegan, you need to try this ramen. It was so good that I almost ordered a second bowl, but I was already so full that I could hardly breathe. Since I wasn't far from Akihabara Electric Town, I headed there. I kind of knew that it's not really my vibe, but I still wanted to check it out as it is so visually intense and impressive. And that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Part 2 from Tokyo is coming very soon, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!